Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sprint 268 review. This is a normal 2-week sprint. Let's get started. I'll start with the overview, Gilbert on the UI, Adam on the providers, Joe on the platform, and Keenan on the API. This sprint, we had 41 PRs merged, and of those, 10 enhancements, 10 tests, 7 bugs, so an even smattering. It's a little lower this week because some people took some vacations, but let's see what they've done. Over to Gilbert on the UI.
Thanks, Jason. So for the UI, we only had one pair merge. It was a Cypress PR by Osavod. Osavod added Cypress command, select accordion item to help with future Cypress test writing. That's it for the UI. Next is Adam.
Thanks, Gilbert. So a community user reported a bug about IPv6 only Amazon instances. So we fixed that this sprint. So we are now collecting any IPv6 addresses from cloud subnets, VPCs, and instances. So we got that fixed up for him. For Nutanix, we added targeted refresh support, which will help with the VM provisioning that we're doing in the next coming weeks. We also cleaned up some invalid method overrides that were added, but were not necessary. For Terraform Enterprise, we fixed a stuck service. So workflow. If a workspace run ends in applied, we were keeping the service stuck and running. The docs for Terraform said that applied isn't a terminal state, but I think the docs are incorrect because it finishes in applied. So we got that fixed up so that the service goes to completed. And for finally for Flow, we fixed JSON parser exception to be more lenient in what message it's expecting. We were looking for an exact string, and two different JSON gem releases have broken that test. So we loosened the expectation message, so it should be more forgiving for changes in the exact exception string. That's it for providers. Over to Joe.
Thanks, Adam. For platform enhancements this sprint, Jason added a script and appliance build that will deploy a VM to KubeVirt in OpenShift. It was contributed with Albert and Brandon and others. Due to the way we hook into Rails 7.2 with virtual attributes, Keenan found we no longer needed to load schema in Rails 7.2 in several places. I added an appliance uninstall script that was also written by Albert, Brandon, and others. I improved the I18N new lines test output. Time will tell if this output is actually helpful or not. I added support for Ruby 3.4 and cleaned up a Rails 7.2 deprecation warning in Appliance Console. I updated the bundler injects test to work with Ruby 3.4's hash and spec change. I also added newer Rubies and bundler versions to the test matrix. And finally, I added a logger for printing the DALI rack session reads and writes. This will help with debugging session timing bugs. Next slide. For platform bugs this sprint, Brandon updated the Python unit test 2 package in RPM build. Keenan updated the Thor version for two different CVEs in core and schema. In schema, Keenan made an implicit rack version explicit to ensure we're using a CVE fix. I fixed an annoying active support proxy object deprecation in Rails 7.2 coming from jQuery RJS. I also removed the database connection check-in checkout callback logger as Rails 7.2's proactive check-in was causing this to be very noisy and not very useful. Rails 7.1's migration context with no argument uses the default now, so we can simplify some of our code. I removed a dead method called cleanup, which was calling clear active connections. Uh, this was a deprecated feature in Rails 7.1, and in 7.2, you can no longer call it on active record base. You have to call it on the connection handler. So just remove the method entirely since we weren't using it. Next, I updated the test configuration to use the default in Rails 7.2, which was show exceptions is now rescuable. I updated the CI test matrix and schema and loggers to make sure Rails 7.2 and Ruby 3.4 were tested. And I fixed some typos in the appliance deploy script. Next slide.
Great. Great. So over in the API, uh, I don't know Damo's full name, but he enhanced the containers so that we added some tags, tag support, and also, what was it? It was custom attribute support. Jason fixed the API so that the UI will make, for notifications, so that the UI will make one less query and actually simplifies the UI as well. That's all for me. On to Jason.
And that's all for our Sprint 268 review. Our next Sprint review, 269, will be on August 20th at the usual place and time. I'd like to thank all the presenters today, all the contributors to ManageIQ, and our community. Thanks, everybody.